Good morning, children. And today is Friday, the 5th of February. And today I'm going to continue to read my story, Treehorn's Treasure. But just to explain my get up today, it is Friday of our Mental Health Awareness Week, and we asked you to dress up in something that expresses who you are. Most weekends, on a Saturday and a Sunday, I will be found on the lanes of Kent, the country lanes of Kent, riding my bicycle. I love to go road cycling. I have a road bike. I have the same bike that Bradley Wiggins won the Tour de France on some years ago. And I love the Sky gear that he wears. So I wear the Bradley Wiggins outfit with the casque helmet. And usually I have my gloves, but I didn't bring those today. But this is me. This is what expresses who I am and what I like to do. But we're going to continue today with our Treehorn's Treasure. We probably won't finish it today, so we may need to read it again on Monday. But Treehorn walked back into the living room. Of course, it's none of my business, Emily and Bertha was saying, but the green floral is absolutely dreadful. Of course you like it, go right ahead. Treehorn told his mother that his father wasn't coming home for dinner, and then he said, I'm going back outside to see if any more leaves have turned into dollar bills. Treehorn went out to look at the tree. Every single one of the leaves was turning into a dollar bill, but they weren't quite done yet. He sat down to wait. He took out of one of his new comic books. Bang, bang. Look, the bullets are bouncing right off him. Nothing can stop him now, nothing. Treehorn looked up at the leaves every now and then. They were almost ready to pick. Treehorn's mother called to him. Treehorn, do come in. You're going to catch cold out there. Treehorn went inside, and his mother said, We're going out to have a dinner at a lovely restaurant with Aunt Bertha, Treehorn. Be sure to wear your nice tie she gave you last Christmas. Treehorn went upstairs to find the tie. He remembered the tie, partly because he had been very sorry at the time that it was a tie and not something else, and partly because he had just seen it somewhere. He couldn't remember where, but he had just seen it, he knew that. When he went into his closet to get a candy bar, he remembered it was on the light cord. He tied it there a long time ago to make it easier to turn the light on and off. It was pretty wrinkled, but he could sit on it for a while and it would look all right. He climbed up to untie it, but by the time he'd read 3 more comic books, the tie was ready and it was time to go. And there's Treehorn with the tie in his closet. So it was very dark at the restaurant. Check your coats, asked the hat check girl. Aunt Bertha and Treehorn's mother checked their coats. Treehorn decided to keep his raincoat on. A man came up to them. 2, madam, this way, please. Treehorn followed his mother and Aunt Bertha. He hadn't noticed Treehorn. It was hard to see where they were going. The man led them to a table. Aunt Bertha and Treehorn's mother sat with their backs against the wall. The man handed them both a big black menu. There wasn't anywhere for Treehorn to sit, so he just stood up. Oh dear, said Aunt Bertha. I left my glasses in my coat. Oh, Treehorn will be glad to go and get them for you, won't you? Treehorn, said Treehorn's mother. Just ask the hat check girl in the lobby. Treehorn trudged back to the lobby. He was glad he'd brought his flashlight, because it was really dark in there. When he found his way back, the girl asked, Check your coat, sir. Treehorn shook his head. Guess what, he asked. The leaves on the tree in our back garden are turning into dollar bills. The girl smiled. My mother says that when I was a kid I pretended there was a pony in the back garden, she said. But the leaves really are turning into dollar bills, said Treehorn. She says I used to take breakfast out to it, said the girl. Treehorn sighed. Could I get my aunt's glasses out of her coat, please? You need a claim check for that, said the girl. It was hard for Treehorn to find the right table because everyone was reading menus, and he walked around with his flashlight until he heard Aunt Bertha's voice. I have to have the claim check or I can't get your glasses, said Treehorn. That's using your head, Treehorn, said Aunt Bertha. I like a boy who uses his head. She reached into her purse and handed him the claim check. Isn't this a lovely dinner, Treehorn, asked his mother. Treehorn just sighed. And he started back to the check room. When he got there, the girl was talking with someone. Treehorn stood there for a while, waiting for them to stop talking. Then he sat down and read Maxi Monster from Outer Space comic. He read it 4 times. When the girl was through talking, he gave her the claim check and got the glasses, and then he walked back to the table. Wasn't this a delicious dinner, Treehorn asked his mother. Treehorn sighed again. He unwrapped another piece of bubble gum. He'd wished he'd brought one of his candy bars because now he was feeling quite hungry. Aunt Bertha said goodbye, and when they got back into the house, Aunt Bertha said goodbye when they got back to the house. Not many boys your age are lucky enough to have dinner in a restaurant like that, Treehorn. Your little friends will be green with envy when they hear about it. What dinner? Thought Treehorn. After she had left, Treehorn started outside with his flashlight. It wasn't as dark as it had been at the restaurant, but it was pretty dark by now. Where are you going, Treehorn? Asked his mother. I'm just going out to see if all the leaves on the tree have finished changing into dollar bills, said Treehorn. They weren't quite done enough before. You know your father doesn't like you to go outside after dark, Treehorn, said his mother. You'll have to wait until tomorrow morning. Treehorn was going to see if there was something to eat in the refrigerator, but the boxes were piled in front of it. He was glad he had all those candy bars in his closet. He went upstairs to his closet and tied the tie back on the light cord. He read 4 more comic books and ate 6 more candy bars before he went to bed. The next morning, when Treehorn came downstairs, his father was having breakfast. I've been thinking about the dollar, Treehorn, he said. I'm going to put it into a savings account for you. Remember, a man's savings is a man's treasure. That way you can see your money grow. There's nothing more satisfying than seeing money grow, Treehorn. I know, said Treehorn. The tree in the yard, it's growing dollar bills. I'm just going out there to pick some now. I agree. Not many boys your age have a savings account, said Treehorn's father. You get the dollar and I'll take it to the bank. You're never too young to start saving and watching your money grow. Treehorn went outside to get the dollar bill out of the hole in the tree. He looked up at the leaves. Every single one of them was ripe. There were hundreds and hundreds of dollar bills, maybe thousands and thousands. Treehorn wondered if he would have enough room in his closet for all of them. He could send for that book about magic this morning. There would be lots of things he could send for now. The strongman kit. He could even send for 2 strongman kits, 3. He could send for 200 if he wanted to. He took the envelope addressed to Instant Magic from the hole in the tree, and then he took the dollar bill out of the envelope and took it into his father. And there's the tree full of dollars. I've decided on the green floral, said Treehorn's mother. That's nice, dear, said Treehorn's father. Treehorn gave his father the dollar bill, and then he went out to the kitchen. Can I borrow your ladder again, Treehorn asked the painter. Sure, said the painter. All the leaves have turned into dollar bills, said Treehorn, all of them. There are hundreds and hundreds, perhaps thousands, and I'm going to pick them all. I still say a kid ought to work for his money, said the painter. It's no good trying to grow them on trees. Treehorn took the ladder and went outside, and when he climbed up he could see that all the dollar bills had started to fade. All that was left on the leaves were faces of George Washington, and they were fading too. Anyway, he still had all those new comic books. It would take a long time to finish them, and by the time he got to the last one, maybe he'd forgotten what the first ones were about, and he could start all over again. Even if he hadn't forgotten what they were about, he could read them all over again anyway. He carried the ladder back to the kitchen. The dollar bills have all faded now, said Treehorn to the painter. They're all turning back into leaves again. Everybody's got their problems, mate, said the painter. Treehorn went upstairs to his closet. He wanted to see if the envelope addressed to the He-Man Company was still in his raincoat pocket. As soon as he got his next allowance, he would send for that strongman kit. Poor old Treehorn. He gets ignored all the time. He tries to express himself, but nobody listens. I hope when you express yourselves, and you're showing how you're expressing yourselves today in your clothes or with your things that you're doing today, that people listen to you. We did manage to finish the book today, so it'll be a new one on Monday. But in the meantime, keep expressing yourselves. Stay safe, keep healthy, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you again on Monday.